Welcome to ChinaLegal. Recently, DeepSeek blows up on internet. Today, let me brief you on how China's legal regime promotes the development of generative AI industry. No doubt, China has a mix of supportive regulations and stringent ones on AI. But how exactly do these regulations advance the growth of generative AI in China? We may start with China's national strategy. China launched the Next Generation AI Development Plan in 2017 after AlphaGo shock. The plan set ambitious goals for AI advancement till 2030, highlighting generative AI as a priority. This strategic framework aims to mobilize China's resources, funding, and cross-sector collaboration in a profound way. Then, there are several AI-specific regulations. The cornerstone of China's legal regime for generative AI is called the Interim Measures for Administration of Generative AI Services, effective 2023. Let's call it Interim Measures for short. The interim measures are jointly enacted by CAC, Cyberspace Administration of China, and another 5 national agencies. CAC is the lead authority in regulating generative AI. On one hand, the interim measures place restrictive rules on public-facing generative AI services. Let's have a quick look. Number 1, content moderation. AI operators are required to take measures to ensure AI-generated content do not undermine national security, political stability, ethical norms, etc. Number 2, data compliance. AI operators are required to use data from legitimate sources, respect IP rights, and obtain consent for processing personal information. Number 3, content labeling. AI-generated content like images and videos must be clearly labeled as AI-generated. Number 4, regulatory oversight. For AI services that may influence public opinion or have potential to mobilize society, they must go through security assessment process and file for algorithm registration. Regulators are authorized to conduct routine or special inspection over AI operations. In my view, these restrictive rules help contain or at least minimize generative AI's downside effects to other stakeholders. On the other hand, the interim measures lay down a solid foundation for the whole nation's coordination in data supply, data center build-up, ecosystem formation and optimization, etc. Particularly, I'd like to highlight the data supply issue. China has plenty of data generated from surveillance tasks, such as facial or object recognition. However, to develop large language models, textual data is much more important. Globally, more than 50% of website contents are in English, and only around 1% are in Chinese. In terms of scientific papers, the scarcity problem is more severe for Chinese language data. Therefore, China's national and local governments have mobilized business, industry associations, academia, and government agencies to supply high-quality data for AI training. This whole-of-society approach is proven efficient, at least in addressing the data scarcity issue. On the whole, the interim measures reduce uncertainty for AI investors and operators by clarifying legal boundaries, so they can proceed without fearing a sudden crackdown. Moreover, it helps maintain constructive interaction between generative AI and society, government agencies, individuals, and other stakeholders, to make sure AI's development would be sustained for the long term. Notably, after seeking public comments, some harsh rules were removed and more pro-innovation provisions were adopted. For example, Security review over all types of cross-border data transfer was taken out of the draft version. So the interim measures have sent a positive signal to generative AI industry in China. Besides the interim measures acting as general guidelines, China has also unleashed a comprehensive framework of policies and regulations in support of its new infrastructure build-up, including 5G, computing power, and data center, etc. Here's a list of major policies and regulations. Among them, I'd like to highlight the role that the Cybersecurity Law 2017 plays. This law mandates that data generated within China be stored locally. So many companies establish data centers within China, enhancing China's data center buildup. In hindsight, China has efficiently enforced these policies and regulations and created a quality infrastructure for AI development. Then, cost-supportive stance on AI also deserves a mention. One stance is about IP protection for AI-generated contents. In 2023, Beijing Internet Court issued a landmark verdict, ruling that AI-generated content is eligible for copyright protection, as long as human selection, creation, or other efforts are involved in the crafting process. In the judge's eyes, AI system is a kind of tool, like a camera, to create expressive works. This decision marks a significant difference from the stance of US and EU courts, who tend not to grant copyright to AI-generated images, even if substantial human efforts were involved. Okay, let's turn to court's another stance on IP claims against AI operators. As we know, AI operators need to feed massive data into their models in training process. More or less, lots of data is copyrighted or otherwise protected, and consents may not be obtained from right holders in advance. That's why in America, OpenAI, Meta, and some other AI operators are sued by right holders. In China, things are different. Legally speaking, right holders can claim against the AI operators on the ground of copyright, unfair competition, personal information protection, etc. under Chinese laws. However, litigation over AI data usage is not widespread yet. I tend to believe the Chinese courts would take an AI-friendly stance if that happens someday. Anyway, China's IP legal framework is still evolving. Proactive compliance with IP and data laws is still important for AI business in China. In short, China has well-balanced innovation with security, social, and other concerns in developing its legal regime on generative AI. Also, China has been actively building up a world-class infrastructure for AI industry to boom. These efforts are paying off. DeepSeek is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, let's leave it here for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Jason Zhang, a Chinese lawyer and partner from a leading Chinese law firm in Beijing. If you have any legal inquiries, you may send me an email. Here's my email address. See you next time. Bye-bye.